This week, Venus charges into the fire sign of Aries, and things are really heating up in love, money, and the way we go after what we want. I'll show you how to harness that passion and independence in a way that truly aligns with your heart. Plus, I've got a really powerful intuitive insight to share about the upcoming Venus-Neptune conjunction and how it may be revealing the energetic signature of the next Pope. And you'll really want to hear this part, so stay with me. On Wednesday, April 30th, Venus will return to the fire sign of Aries, and the energy of Venus really shows up in our lives in the areas of our relationships, our values, and our finances. So when Venus is in the individualistic sign of Aries, the way that we relate to others can undergo a dramatic change. Because to me, Venus in Aries feels a lot like Xena, the warrior princess. And this energy around Venus and Aries will cause you to be very forthcoming, to be very direct about what you expect and what you need from your friendships and relationships. You may feel drawn to prioritize your desires and your passions, and you will not be willing to compromise yourself for any relationship or to maintain a relationship, a financial habit, or values that are detrimental to your well-being. The timeline is important here because Venus initially entered the sign of Aries on February 6th, and then Venus went retrograde on March 2nd and moved back into the sign of Pisces on March 29th. So I want you to think about the relationship and financial themes that were at the forefront of your life during that time back in February, because more than likely these issues will be on the table once again, and they may trigger you to finally take action on something. Maybe you will decide that this is the time to step more into financial independence or to step away from a relationship while you learn to value and prioritize yourself. On a much larger scale, Venus in Aries will activate a desire within humanity for individual rights and freedoms. And people will want to stand up for their rights and not give them away willingly. Because of this, we may see more protests and more people speaking out against perceived suppression of individual rights and liberties. On Friday, May 2nd, Venus will conjunct Neptune at 1 degree of Aries, and I feel that this is in some way showing us the type of Pope that will be chosen, and I'll talk more about that in just a moment. But as a quick reminder, the last time that we had Neptune in the sign of Aries was from 1862 through 1875. So this is quite a significant time when there's a lot of visibility for people in power and things can be revealed to the public. And when we have inner planets such as Venus that come into contact with Neptune and Aries, we will be able to get a better understanding of the themes that will be in play for the next 14 years. On April 15th, Mercury met up with Neptune in Aries. And you may remember that was the day that a meeting was held with someone from El Salvador, a leader. And I'm trying to be really careful about what I'm saying because I don't want this video to be suppressed. But it was all over the news, and there were themes around the dissolution of individual rights and liberties. So that's a huge clue that this will be something that continues to be at the forefront of current events over the next few years. So on May 2nd, we can watch and listen to the discourse around what's happening in the world, and then that will give us another clue about more of the things to come under Neptune and Aries. Venus conjunct Neptune can fill you with a sense of inspiration around your dreams regarding your ideal relationship or your ideal financial situation. You may also experience a deep desire to know boundless, unconditional, and transcendent love. And this could also be a great time for those of you who are musicians or artists, writers, and poets. It's also a great time to think about how we can be more individualistic in our spiritual approach and to step away from beliefs that have been mandated to us, but they've never felt right for us. I also think it's significant that this transit will be taking place as a new pope is being chosen or right after one has been chosen, depending on the length of the deliberation process. And since this aspect is occurring at such a high degree of visibility, at 1 degree of Aries, I intuitively feel as if this is in some way a nod to the type of leader that will be chosen. This could be someone who really embodies the qualities of Venus and Aries, meaning it could be someone who really values taking a new or more progressive approach to their faith. This could also be someone who values taking decisive action when it comes to their faith, and someone who's very direct without sugarcoating what they think. We also have Saturn in Pisces stationed only 2 degrees away from Neptune, which could also signal someone who's interested in dissolving some of the traditional structures that we've seen in the church. And since Mars rules Aries and Mars is in the sign of Leo, we could also see someone chosen who has a strong history of leadership within the church. They may be very warm and charismatic with a soft spot for children and the issues that affect children. I'm not Catholic and I don't know anything about the front runners for the position so far. So we're going to have to wait and see how this turns out. And on Sunday, May 4th, Pluto will retrograde at 3 degrees of Aquarius, all the way through the middle of October of 2025. And when we have a planet that goes retrograde, it's a really good time to review and re-examine how the themes of that planet show up in our lives. Pluto represents transformation that can come out of extreme situations that take us rock bottom. It also represents power, control, and the hidden aspects of life. The next 6 months will really be an opportunity to examine how you use your power and how you utilize your sense of control. You may feel drawn to reclaim your power within groups or to detox your relationship with technology, or to transform limiting beliefs. It would really be beneficial for you to check your natal chart and see where Pluto will be retrograding, because that is going to give you more personalized information about what's in store for you over the next 6 months. So, for example, if you are a Taurus rising, you are going to be assessing whether or not your career is disempowering or empowering you. And we can also use Leo risings as an example. So for Leo risings, you guys are going to be looking at your partnerships and determining if there are limiting beliefs that you have around your partnerships. So keep that in mind. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope this gives you clarity and confidence as you navigate the week ahead. Remember, the stars may guide us, but you always have the power to choose how you're going to show up. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little cosmic insight. Wishing you a grounded and empowered week.